So you're thinking about moving to Post Falls, Idaho, and you're trying to get a better understanding of the area before you move here. Well, you're in the right spot. In this video, I'm going to share my screen with a Google map. I'll show you all the landmarks, all the roadways, give you a better idea of Post Falls so it's a little bit more clear in your mind. If that interests you, you are in the right spot. Stick around for the entire video. I've got lots of great information to share with you. If this is your first time to the channel, be sure to subscribe, tap that notifications bell so you can be the first to learn about the current market conditions here in North Idaho. My name is Seth. I'm a retired police officer. I work with my wife, Kristen, and we get calls, texts, and emails all the time from people just like you trying to get more information about the area. So whether you're looking to move in 6 days or 6 months, give us a call, text, or email. We would love to help you make that smooth move right here in North Idaho.
All right, here we go. Jumping right into our map tour, Google map tour of Post Falls, Idaho. Of course, we're going to start out with kind of a general idea of where Post Falls is, and then we'll jump into some details from that. So stick around in the end. I got lots of great info right now. Okay, where's Post Falls? Well, we've done videos on Coeur d'Alene, the biggest city up here in North Idaho, and that is right there. And the Washington-Idaho border is right here. So Post Falls sits in between those two, right there in the middle. It's a great location. It's a great location because it's very close to, or it's closer to Spokane International Airport, which would be that way. So if you're in Post Falls, kind of depending on where you're at Post Falls, but you're looking at like a 30 to a 40-minute ride to the airport. That's fantastic. That's hard to find a nice area in a beautiful state and beautiful and free state like Idaho that's that close to an airport. So, you know, of course, unless you live down in Boise, but up here in North Idaho, the best Idaho, it's great to have that opportunity so close by. So that being said, clear this out on a little bit. Let's start with some of the roadways, main roadways here in Post Falls that you would be using. So the big one is Interstate 90. That runs east-west across the state right here. So that's going to be your access to the Washington side, Coeur d'Alene, and then on beyond to Montana if you keep going east. North-south, the main thoroughfare right now, and there's a lot of construction going on right here. 41, well, it's not a straight line. So 41 takes you north-south, and there is a lot of development going on 41. They're expanding it right now because they recognize that it will be a major thoroughfare from 90 and Post Falls to points north on the map, like Spirit Lake, that way. So they are expanding this quite a bit, which will be helpful because traffic can be challenging at times. They're also redoing the intersection here between 90 and 41 because it was a hot mess. And it's still a hot mess currently because they're doing construction, but in the future it should be much more functional and get traffic flowing quite a bit better. So the plan is to have a three lanes in each direction all along 90 here as well, because during certain hours, commute traffic can slow it down. And if you have a crash on 90, it's currently 2 lanes in each direction, it will destroy traffic. So that 3rd lane, I think, is going to make a big difference to kind of ease some of that congestion. Clear that out. Okay, so 41, 90, those are the big ones here. There are others. Another roadway to note that is a common thoroughfare is Celtice. And Celtice, right here, it starts way down there in Coeur d'Alene. So you can jump on it in Coeur d'Alene and ride it all the way through here. And there's a lot of commercial stuff accessed. A decent job at tracing it here. off of Celtice. So that's a major thoroughfare. Sometimes, especially if there's traffic or, like I said, a crash on 90, it's quicker to take Celtice from Coeur d'Alene to get into Post Falls. It's a 10-minute ride tops, very, very close. So Celtice is another one to keep in mind. And then Spokane Street runs north-south here. And this will be access to the south side of the river. Currently, the only access is here, or then way back up here in Coeur d'Alene on 95. So this one is commonly used, and also the down like the historic section of Post Falls would be in this area here, kind of south of 90, and there's a lot of development going on here. They're doing a good job of kind of there's some condos right in here. They're doing a good job of kind of making a riverfront community is the vibe I'm getting, and like a walkable community. So that's pretty cool. There's a cool brewery right here, some restaurants, stuff like that along this little strip. Post Falls is laid out kind of interestingly because there are multiple areas that feel like downtown Post Falls. For example, this 41 section over here, there's a lot going on this side too. You've got commercial restaurants and things over here and over here. And so there's different areas also north of 90 on Spokane Street, same kind of stuff, restaurants, things like that. That feels very downtown. So you got multiple areas, which I guess Coeur d'Alene's kind of the same in that regard, as there is like the one main downtown, but then you have different sections that are kind of similar in that way. Something to note. So Post Falls is seeing a lot of expansion into this direction up here into the prairie is what this is called. It's currently mostly farmland, and it's slowly being developed and turned into housing, which the locals hate, of course, because, it's changing the geography of their home. I get that. But the positive is that it's opening up more housing options for those and some of the housing is more affordable. Things around 400,000. I know, which sounds crazy to me that's considered affordable when I think of the first home that I bought that was around 100,000. That was a long time ago. But that's about as good as you're going to get here unless you're getting into manufactured homes or things like that. So this area north will be probably over here too, is going to be more and more housing. Hopefully they do a good job with it, and there's plenty of green spaces and bike paths, and it can be done in a way that's nice and does preserve some of the natural beauty. So it's not all bad. Also to note, so 41, this main north-south drag, right? This is Prairie Ave. Prairie runs straight over to Coeur d'Alene. This whole area is being developed for commercial property. There is going to be a new Costco right here. That's huge. The only Costco in North Idaho is currently in Coeur d'Alene, and it's so dang busy. It's busy all the time. It sucks because everybody in North Idaho is coming here. I think people from Spokane Valley over in Washington also come there, even though there are a few in Washington. There's a lot of people. So this will be a huge benefit to have another Costco right here. And then there will be other commercial businesses, restaurants, things like that in this area. So that is going to be a great benefit to Post Falls, in my opinion, to kind of give more of that big box store things that people need nearby. While I'm on the big box store conversation, let's see here. There's some good stuff over here. The Cabelas right here. So Cabelas is right on the border of Idaho and Washington, which is right here. So Cabelas sits right there. That's a great spot to go. Next to that is a Walmart. Oh wait, it's not the only Walmart in Post Falls. There's another one. There right here. Another Walmart right here, which is closer to the 4190 interchange. So there are plenty of shopping options. Super One Foods, tons of grocery stores over here. I mean, everything you need. Post Falls is a probably equally population size. I would say equal to Coeur d'Alene and growing. So it's going to outgrow Coeur d'Alene for sure. I think we're sitting at 45,000 or so for population currently in Post Falls. Couple other things to note. Okay, cool. Kind of a cool feature here is this. So this is Stateline Speedway. It's a racetrack. They have tons of awesome events there. The races, of course, and then concerts. There's a Josh Turner concert there next week. That'll be summer of 2023. That'll be there. Perhaps the coolest thing I've been to there is the Lantern Festival. So that's where you have the lanterns that it's at night and everybody releases lanterns into the air. And we'll cut a video in so you can see what that looks like. But it is like mind-blowing. So cool. So that's a nice feature to have right here. And that's accessible, obviously, to everyone in North Idaho and Washington. But it's cool. It's right there in Post Falls. Okay. So geographically, another thing to note is that the Spokane River runs through Post Falls right here. And it goes in the direction that I'm currently drawing. So it comes from Coeur d'Alene and it goes this way. There's a dam right here that helps control the water level in Lake Coeur d'Alene. And then below that, it's still a river. Water levels fluctuate down here. Lots of fly fishing down here on this section of the river. And then from the dam up, you can boat. So there are marinas, a couple down here, right here. And you can park a boat there and then drive all the way up the river into Lake Coeur d'Alene. And this is very wide. The river is very wide here. So you can surf, ski, whatever on your way there. It is probably a 40-minute boat ride to get from here all the way out to the lake. So something to keep in mind. But that is a good option to find a boat slip there if you can't find them anywhere else. Sometimes they're available down here. So good thing to know about. Okay, so we talked about the river borders. Let's see. Okay, so golf courses. There are 2 golf courses in Post Falls. They got the Highlands Golf Course here, which is a nice course, and Prairie Falls up here, which is also nice. They've been doing some remodeling up there. And there are home options on both of those golf courses. So you can live on the fairway kind of deal on both of them, which is cool. Some really beautiful homes in each of those. So that's a nice feature to add there. And right. So there's a couple of parks I wanted to touch on also that are bigger ones and are really awesome. So Falls Park, this is right on the dam. And certain times of year, they have the water flowing. If they're releasing water, like say in the spring when the snow runoff is filling the lake rapidly, they'll be dumping a lot of water out. And it is cool. There's some great viewpoints there of the dam. It's just a nice park in general, but it's really cool to go walk because the rock along this section here, I don't know what kind of rock it is, but it's deep canyon and it's absolutely gorgeous. So that's a cool spot to check out. And then right across the river, so you jump over on Spokane Street here, jump over the Spokane River into Quemlin Park, which I know someone's going to call me out that I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's just the way it is. Okay, so this park, there's a great swimming area here, public swimming area, the beautiful green park, and then all in here are these awesome trails you can hike, mountain bike, and perhaps the coolest thing is the rock climbing is phenomenal in here. I went on a guided rock climbing tour last year in this area, and I could not believe, I just had no idea it was there. So it's a really cool spot to check out. Like I said, lots of hiking trails. If you don't have access to climbing, you can at least do that. But all of that is right here, which is great. Another bigger park to mention is this Kiwanis Park right here. Also a great spot, open to the public. There are swimming areas, several swimming areas along the river, and it's nice. It's clean water. It's a great spot to swim, and tons of trees, playground type stuff is all right there. So that's a cool one to mention as well. Okay, a couple of neighborhoods to note. Gotta get the name right. Okay, over here, Riverside Harbor neighborhood. So these homes have community beach access, which is super cool. So there are tons of homes in here, and then there's a community beach somewhere along here, and they have access to it. So it's private access to that, which can be really nice if things are crowded out there. That's a great option to have that. And let's see, what are the other neighborhoods I wanted to mention? So yeah, I'm not gonna get super specific on the other ones because there's a bunch of options in here and they all have different names, but I guess it's not super important. The important thing is to go in there, and if you're looking for a home here, to drive around and see what appeals to you, because some are more established, and the more established ones have the older trees. Really, the more established ones will be down here south of 90 and north of the river, and then up in this area and the prairie as it's expanding. These are newer neighborhoods, so the trees aren't going to be established, and they'll be a little bit smaller, but it's still very appealing. And then obviously as we continue to go north, that will keep growing. So that's an overall of Post Falls. I think I touched on some of the main points. We'll have lots of video, as you've seen, cutting in and out, so you can kind of like put a visual to what I'm telling you. I know it helps to see it on a map and hear me describe it, but also important to get your eyes on it and like really understand what you're looking at, I think is one of the best things. So that is Post Falls in a nutshell. As always, if you have further questions, shoot us a call, text, or email, and we will help you out with that. I'm happy to do it. We love talking about North Idaho. We love the area. It's a great place to live if you're thinking about it. Really, probably the most helpful thing if you're kind of on the fence or you're just curious, just call me up, shoot me a text, write me an email, whatever. We can talk about it, and we'll go from there.
Thank you for sticking around to the very end. As you can tell, we're extremely passionate about sharing North Idaho with others. So hopefully you found this video informative and engaging. And remember, whether you're looking to move in 6 days or 6 months, we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you. So give us a call, text, or email. We would love to help you make that smooth move right here to North Idaho.